looks like we have another masterpiece on our hands. Hey, everybody, welcome to another review. And today I will be reviewing, finally, I'll be reviewing There Will Be Blood. Yes, it's about damn time I reviewed this movie. About time I see it, too, because everybody loves this film. So yeah, There Will Be Blood. This came out in 2007 and was written and directed, of course, by Paul Thomas Anderson. Um, and it stars, of course, Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. Yeah. So yeah, There Will Be Blood. Again, it took me this long to finally watch it, but I did. Um, I mean, of course, I always wanted to watch it because it's pretty much a classic, even though it's like just over like 10 years old. Well, almost 20 actually now. But it's considered to be a great film, like one of the best even. And like definitely one of the best from 2007. This and its rival, No Country for Old Men, directed by the Coen brothers, were like considered to be the best films from that year, from 2007. And they were both nominated for Best Picture, and No Country for Old Men won. So yeah, and I call them rival movies because they kind of are. They're a little bit similar too. I have seen No Country for Old Men, and it's good. It's a very good film. No Country for Old Men. I'll go ahead and discuss. I'll go ahead and say my problem with that movie though is the ending. I really don't like the ending to No Country for Old Men, but other than that, it's a great film. But of course, I'm not here to talk about that film, even though I just did a little. Just because I haven't really talked about it before, I figured I'd go ahead and give my opinion on it. But There Will Be Blood. Like I said, I've been wanting to see this movie for a long time because I heard very good things about it. But I wasn't quite sure about it for a while because, I think the main reason why was because I wasn't quite a Paul Thomas Anderson fan yet, and I don't know. I don't know if I would consider myself to be a Paul Thomas Anderson fan at the moment because I've only seen 4 of his films, and that is before I saw this movie. The only one I liked was Punch Drunk Love. The other 2 I've seen are Inherent Vice, which I did not like at all, really, and Boogie Nights, which I have reviewed for the channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. But I wasn't a big fan of that one either. I thought it was good, but I wasn't a big fan of Boogie Nights. So I wasn't sure about There Will Be Blood. And there's actually quite a bit of people, like now at least, that don't really like this film. It's kind of divisive. I mean, I think there's more people that like it more than not, but it's a little bit divisive. So, and I heard people say that it's boring, and yeah, I don't like boring movies. Of course, I mean, who does, but there's like a whole bunch of like great films that I've seen that I thought was boring, So I wasn't sure about this film, but I figured I'll go ahead and watch it, give it a try. And boy, was I wrong. Like I said in the intro, this film is a fucking masterpiece. I was completely shocked of how good not only of how good this film was, I was completely shocked of how much I loved it. Yes, I loved There Will Be Blood. I loved this film. And yes, I'll go ahead and say it now. I think this is even better than No Country for Old Men. I like it better than No Country for Old Men, and I think it's a better film, and it should have won Best Picture instead of No Country for Old Men. But yeah, I loved this film. I really did. So I guess I'll go ahead and discuss the plot for a bit. Might not be too good at the plot because it's kind of hard to explain what the plot is. But basically, the plot of this film is about it's I guess you can call it a character study. It's about this guy. It's not based on a true story or whatever. It's a fictional story, but it kind of you know it kind of seems like it could be based on a true story, but it's not. But it's about this guy named Daniel Play. What's his name? Hold on, let me see what his last name is. I almost had it. um, it's Plainview, right? Daniel Plainview, and he is played by Daniel Day Lewis. And this takes place in like it starts out in 1980 or no 1898, which is 100 years before I was even born. But yeah, 1898, and I think I think the last year of this story is 1927. So yeah, of course, a long time ago. But yeah, from 1898 to 1927, it's about this guy named Daniel Plainview who starts out as a prospector, and he he starts out as a prospector in 1898, and then like a couple years later, he like I think he's still kind of a prospector, but then like he has other people helping him now, and they struck gold. They struck oil, and he becomes a rich oil man, and also has an adopted son, who he named HW, I believe. HW. Yeah, HW. And yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain anything else because for one, I kind of don't know what else to say about it because it's not really a whole lot to say about it. And also, I don't really know much, but I also don't want to like spoil too much either. I didn't mention Paul Dano's character. He actually plays two characters. He plays twin brothers, but we mostly just see one of them. I think the other one we only seen in one scene. But he plays what are their names? Paul and Eli Sunday, and Eli is the one we see the most in this film, and he's a preacher for this church. But yeah, and he he kind of like makes a deal with Daniel Plainview, and Daniel Plainview, yeah, he tries to help him out and stuff, or at least he says he does. I'll get more on his character in a minute, but anyways, that's I guess the best I can explain. I don't know, it's a little bit hard to explain, but and I don't really, even though I love this film, I probably do need to watch it some more to know the story a little bit more. But anyways, but yeah, like I said, this film is a masterpiece, and with that kind of story, that doesn't sound like a very interesting story, at least not to me. But I don't know. Somehow Paul Thomas Anderson made a kind of a boring story a not boring movie. Yeah, I did not think this movie was boring. I thought it was pretty entertaining, mostly due to a few things. And I'll discuss my favorite things about the movie. I'll say my three favorite things about the movie. Okay. So the score. The score to this film is amazing. It is done by Johnny Greenwood, who is the guitarist for Radiohead. He scored this film, and I think this was the first film that he did with him. But I believe he also did Inherent Vice and the others as well, like The Master and maybe Phantom Thread. He also did. I don't know, but this was, I believe, the first film he did with Paul Thomas Anderson, Johnny Greenwood, that is. And the score is awesome. Like, it doesn't even sound like it should even fit the film, but it kind of makes the film even better. Like, if it just had like normal music and stuff, it wouldn't be that great. But the music is one of the best things about the film. Like, holy shit, it's amazing. especially during the I don't know, the scene where HW the kid gets into an accident. I That's probably a spoiler. I apologize. I won't say anything beside that. I won't say like what happened exactly, but you know what scene I'm talking about. The music was amazing in that scene. I loved it, especially there. And second thing, second thing I loved about this film was the cinematography. Cinematography was just gorgeous. It was just amazing looking. Like one of the best shot movies I have ever seen. I don't know who the cinematographer was, but whoever that person was, yeah, they did a great job. And like some really awesome shots in this film. Really, there's some really awesome shots. And like it's just a very well shot film for sure. And of course, the third thing I have to say about this film that I loved, well, I'll say the performances by both Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. I'm going to talk about Paul Dano first. I'll save Daniel Day-Lewis for last. Paul Dano, like I said, he plays two characters, and mostly one. Like I said, he's very good in this film. And I like Paul Dano. I like him in Swiss Army Man, which I've reviewed for the channel. Go check it out. He was great in that one, and he was also in a movie I really like, which I think is very underrated. It was actually one of his first, and he was like a teenager then. The Girl Next Door. He was in that movie. I really liked him in that. And my favorite performance of his has to go to Dwayne in Little Miss Sunshine. I love that movie, and yeah, he was great in that one. In fact, this is actually a year after Little Miss Sunshine. So yeah, but I really like Paul Dano. Like, I think those are the only movies I've seen of him so far, but he was great in all of them. And yeah, really great actor. And I want to see that one movie that he's in, the Beach Boys biopic. I believe he plays Brian Wilson in the Beach Boys biopic. Like, he plays a younger Brian Wilson, and then I think it's John Cusack, I believe, that plays the older Brian Wilson. And I've heard really good things about it. I think it's called Love and Mercy. And I'll probably review that for the channel sometime whenever I get to watch it, that is. But I heard good things about that, and yeah, I'll check that out sometime. But yeah, he was really good in this film. There's like some scenes where he's like really like, holy shit, like it kind of makes me. There's one scene in particular, like I said, he's a preacher in this film, and there's one scene in particular where like it kind of made me feel uncomfortable, just the way he acted and stuff. You might know what I'm talking about. It's a scene involving him preaching. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, but yeah, he was great. And of course, I gotta talk about Daniel Day-Lewis. What's a There Will Be Blood review without talking about Daniel Day-Lewis? He is definitely the best thing about this movie, pretty much. And man, I'll be completely honest with you. This was my first Daniel Day-Lewis movie. Yes, I never seen him act before. I never seen him in a movie ever until now. And just by watching this film, I completely understand why people say he's one of the greatest actors ever. He killed it in this film, and I want to see more of him. Definitely. Like, I hear he's great in that Martin Scorsese film, Gangs of New York. I'll probably watch that sometime soon. I was gonna watch it anyways because it's Scorsese and I love Scorsese. But yeah. And let's see what else. I heard he was great in Lincoln, the Abraham Lincoln biopic, obviously. And was that one? I think the first film, was it called My Left Foot? The one I think it was the one that got him his first Oscar, I believe, and that was like the late '80s. Also, another Scorsese film that he was in, The Age of Innocence, with I believe it's Michelle Pfeiffer and Winona Ryder. I know Winona Ryder's in it, but I think Michelle Pfeiffer's in it as well. I gotta watch that as well. Um, but yeah, I hear he's a great actor, and I also hear that he's a method actor, which is I probably the reason why he is so good because he's a method actor, and he's actually now retired, I believe. His last film was another Paul Thomas Anderson film, Phantom Thread, which I'll watch that sometime. But yeah, I guess he's retired now, unfortunately. But yeah, I can definitely see why people love him so much just by watching this film because he was unbelievable. Like, holy shit, one of the best performances I have ever seen. And I guess I'll talk about his character, Daniel Plainview. This guy is an asshole. Like which I think I don't know if he's an asshole in the beginning of the film, but as he becomes rich and stuff, he gets a big ego and stuff, and he doesn't really care about anybody except for maybe his son, maybe his adopted son. I mean, I think he does care about him, but he's still kind of a dick to him. Well, he is a dick to him. If you've seen the film, yeah. But sorry, I dropped my phone. But let me get it for a second. Hold on. Let me pause this real quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to pause the video because I'm filming this, of course, on my laptop, and it's on a laundry basket right now. So, and I dropped my phone like through the laundry basket, and I had to pick it up. I had to, pick up the laundry basket to get it. But anyway, so sorry about that. Okay, so what was I talking about? Daniel Plainview, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was talking about like he is an asshole to his son, but I think he does care about him. Until the end, I think, but again, that's probably a spoiler. I'm sorry about that, but he does care about him, and he's like the only one he liked, the only person in the film who he likes, and yeah, but like, yeah, he really is an asshole and kind of crazy. Well, yeah, he is crazy. He doesn't really seem like it at first. Like he seems not crazy. I mean, he does seem like an asshole, but not crazy. But that's until later in the film. But and if that's a spoiler, I apologize. But yeah, he I don't know. This film is mostly just about him. Like I said, it's like a character study, and like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what all to say about this film because I don't really know exactly, other than like what I like about it. But all I'll say, it's just a great performance, and even though the character is not a likable person, the way Daniel Day-Lewis played him, you still kind of like the character anyways because it's a great performance. He is kind of more of an antagonist more than a protagonist, but is that the right words? Yeah, I don't know, but he is like more kind of like a villain than a hero, even though he's the main character in the film. But anyways, but yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis, I again definitely see why people love him so much. I don't know why it took me so long to even watch a Daniel Day-Lewis movie, but yeah, but I finally did, and yeah, definitely the best performance in the film without a doubt. And everyone else that's in the movie, I didn't mention any other actors because him and Paul Dano are like the only big actors in the film. But the kid who played HW, Daniel's son, he was good. He was also very good, and I think that this is actually the only movie he's ever done too. He doesn't even act anymore. This is the only time he ever acted, I believe, but he was really good. And but yeah, this is, man, I really loved this film, and we're already at the 20-minute mark, but I'm not done yet. Like, I could see why some people think this is boring. I don't think it's that boring. Now, okay, if I have any negatives about the film, I will say that there are certain scenes where certain scenes of dialogue that kind of lost me, that were a little bit boring. Like, I'll say the very first scene with dialogue, because actually this movie starts out with like pretty much no dialogue at all. Like the first like 15 20 minutes of the film, there's actually like no dialogue. And that was awesome. It reminded me a lot like 2001: A Space Odyssey, actually. Like with, the Dawn of Man, with the monkeys. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that in a way. But once there was dialogue, like that first scene with dialogue, I didn't really care for it. And whenever I was watching that scene, I was like, because I was liking the first like 10, 15, 20 minutes of it. I was liking it, and then when that scene came on, I'm like, oh no, am I not gonna like the dialogue in this film? And I think I said it earlier, but that was like my problem with Boogie Nights, was the dialogue. Like, it didn't have very interesting dialogue to me, but this film had more dialogue. I mean, more interesting dialogue than Boogie Nights, I thought. Like I said, there were certain scenes that I wasn't into, where I wasn't into the dialogue, but for the most part, it was kind of, I liked the dialogue, and mostly due to the performances by Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano, of course. But yeah, no, I really liked the dialogue. Just, there were just certain scenes where I wasn't into it, but that's my only negative. Other than that, this movie wasn't really boring, and it's slow. I'll say that it's slow, but at the same time, it was kind of fast paced. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like the tone of the film was slow. But this movie is like about, let's see, how long is it? I know it's like 2 hours, but let's see. It says 158 minutes, which is 2 hours, and yeah, it's kind of long, I guess, but it didn't feel like it. In fact, 158 minutes. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is actually longer than that. It's like 160 minutes, and that felt even shorter. Like, that movie, I've said it before, and I'll say it again once I do my Tarantino ranking. But that movie did not feel like it was long at all. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, at least to me, it went by quick, and this movie went by quick as well. Like, it went like unbelievably fast. Like, although Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wasn't slow, but this one was, the tone, it had a slow tone to it, but at the same time, it still went by fast. Like, I don't know, it went by really quick, and I don't know any other slow movie that does that. Like, it's either fast or slow, the film. And I don't know another film that's done where it had a slow tone, but it still went by quick. I never seen one like that. But yeah, I liked it that way. I'm glad it was, because if it didn't feel like it was fast, and I might not would have liked it. But the fact that it was a slow movie and it went by quick, yeah, I like that. I wish The Godfather did that. And I'll say also, this movie in a way kind of reminds me of The Godfather. Even the story in some ways. Like, it reminds me, I don't know about Marlon Brando, but it does kind of remind me, Daniel Plainview's character kind of reminds me a little bit like Michael Corleone, is that his name? Al Pacino's character in the Godfather movies. He kind of even reminds me of him a little bit. I don't think Michael was... maybe he was an asshole, but he wasn't like too bad. I've only seen those movies like once, or I've seen the second one once. I think I've seen the first like 2 times maybe, but I think I've seen it twice. But but like he kind of reminded me of him, and like I don't know, the story itself, the movie itself, kind of reminded me of The Godfather. But and I said it before, I'm not a big Godfather fan, mostly because I think it's boring. Yeah, I said it. It's good. The first two movies are good, but they're boring to me. I'm just not into them. But this movie, other than the some of the slow dialogue scenes, I did not think this movie was boring. I was really entertained by this film due to the cinematography, the score, and the performances. But yeah. Let's see. I know there's one other thing I should talk about, but I can't think of it, so I guess I'm going to talk about, I'll do it without spoiling, but I'll just briefly talk about the ending. Holy shit, man. The ending might be my favorite ending to a movie ever. Like, wow. And I said it just like earlier in this video. I said I didn't like the ending to No Country for Old Men. This had a much better ending. Like, holy shit. This is an insane ending. Like, it is crazy. And the fact that it is the ending of the film is also insane. Like, but I loved it. I loved that it was the ending, and yeah. Like, I think I said it in my my last review, Sound of Metal. I didn't like that ending because it didn't really show much or explain much, at least, or at least I didn't think it did. Like, I felt like it needed another scene, and this ending doesn't really explain much either. But I'm actually kind of glad it didn't. I kind of think I'm just gonna be guessing of what happens afterwards, but yeah, that scene, that final scene in the film, definitely the best scene in the movie. I think the second best scene is probably the one with the one with the oil going up. That's the scene where his kid got in an accident. Spoiler alert, but that was a great scene too. But mostly because due to the cinematography and the score to that scene. But this scene, it was done by. I had good cinematography, but there was like no music in it, so it was mostly due to the performances. It involves both Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano, and of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly how awesome this scene was, and there is a very famous line, probably the most quoted line in this film, is from that scene too. I didn't even think. Well, I don't really want to say what the quote is just because it might spoil the ending. But if you know what quote I'm talking about, I will. There's two very quoted lines. It's not the "I abandoned my child" line. It's not that one. It's the other one. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. Okay, fuck it, I'll say it. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. Yeah. Yeah, that. Fuck it, I went ahead and said it. But that, I was not expecting that to be in the final scene of the film, but it was. And I apologize for if that's a spoiler, which it might be. But I won't say what happens in the scene, but it is crazy. And just the fact that it's the ending of the scene. It's the ending of the film. Like, holy shit. But yeah, I loved that ending. Definitely the best scene in the movie. And the movie itself was amazing, but that scene, oh my god, that was crazy. And that scene had both great performers, mostly Daniel Day-Lewis, but also Paul Dano too. And but anyways, this is almost 30 minutes now. I apologize for that, but so I guess I'll wrap things up. This is an amazing film. This is a masterpiece, and I am so glad that I love this film because, like I said, I was not thinking that I would. I was having, I was having second thoughts. I was like, I still said to myself, I do need to see this movie at some point. And I went ahead and watched it because I was tired of not watching it. I was like, if I don't like it, I'll never watch it again. But my God, I love this film, and I'll definitely be watching it again. I'll definitely get it on either DVD or Blu-ray. And yeah, amazing film. Yeah, masterpiece of a film without a doubt. So, and if you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend it. I'm sorry if I spoiled, but I still think you should see this film because it's a movie I think everybody probably should see. Whether you'll like it or not, maybe not, but it's a movie I think everyone should see at least once, and a masterpiece. One, definitely understand why people say it's one of the best movies ever made. It is. It's definitely one of the best movies ever made. Even better than The Godfather. Yeah, I said it, but and maybe even better than Citizen Kane, but that's me, Yeah, definitely one of the greatest films ever made. You should definitely watch it if you haven't already. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it its grade. Hold on, let me look for it first. I think I know what it is. Okay. So I'm going to give There Will Be Blood one of the highest grades I can give it, an A minus. Now, just an A minus for now. A minus for now. It might go up. It might be one of my favorite movies of. It probably is now, but I might love it even more. But right now, just because I've seen it once, and plus some of those scenes of dialogue kind of drag it down a little bit, I'm giving it an A minus. But that's a great grade to give it. Anything in the A section is like, I don't think you should argue at all. You should be happy that it has a high grade. So A minus. There Will Be Blood has an A minus. Amazing film. Highly recommend it. Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. There is my review for There Will Be Blood, and I'm sorry if this is probably one of my longest reviews. I apologize for that, but amazing film. So in the comments, tell me, have you seen There Will Be Blood? Have you not? Also, what's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film? This might be it. I don't know yet. I don't know if I like this or Punch Drunk Love better, because I really liked Punch Drunk Love, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I will admit that this is a better film than Punch Drunk Love, but I'm not sure which one I like better, but one of those two. Excuse me. And what's your favorite Daniel Day-Lewis film? Right now it is this. It is There Will Be Blood, but because it's the only Daniel Day-Lewis movie I've seen so far. But yeah, what's your favorite Daniel Day-Lewis film? And what's your favorite Paul Dano film? For me, now, of course, again, I do think this is a better film. There Will Be Blood is a better movie, but just because I've only seen this once, I'll say my favorite Paul Dano movie is Little Miss Sunshine. I loved him in that movie, and I loved the film itself, That's another movie I thought got snubbed. Like, it should have won Best Picture instead of The Departed, but that's me, but yeah, There Will Be Blood definitely should have won Best Picture. I didn't see what awards it won. I'm sorry, but let me check that real quick. What Oscars it won, at least the Oscars. Okay, it did win, of course, Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis. Of course, it did. It definitely deserved it, and it won Best Cinematography. And the guy who did the cinematography, his name is Robert Elswit. Okay, so yeah, it won Best Cinematography. That's great too. I'm glad it did that. Did it not even get nominated for Best Score? It didn't. What? It didn't get nominated for Best Sound Editing, but it didn't get nominated for Best Score. That sucks, because I loved the score. Oh, sorry, my back hurts. But okay, so it only won 2 awards, at least for the Oscars, but for the Academy Awards. But that's fine. It should have won more, but that's okay. So yeah, best actor Dan Day Lewis and best cinematography won. But anyways, Paul, I don't think was Paul. I didn't even look. Well, I didn't even look at the nominees. Oh well, I want to end this video. So anyways, but yeah, okay. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you. I'll see you later. Probably I'll see you for another top 5 list. Okay, peace.